summer's around the corner and you want to get outside and get shooting a little bit more. But before you do that, I just wanted to share some of the things that I wish I knew when I first started photography. I want to share that with you, and I'm going to do that in this video. How's it going, guys? Andrei back here. Hope you guys are all doing tremendously well. In this video, I just want to share some of my 2 cents about starting photography. If you're still starting, and some of the things that you might want to take into consideration when you're pursuing this as a career. So to start things off, the number one thing that I wish I knew, it comes down to gear. It's not the camera that you need, it's the lenses that you need. So definitely invest in better glass opposed to investing in better bodies of a camera. Yes, depending on the camera that you have, there might be massive discrepancies. Like when I first upgraded, I went from a Nikon D3400 to a Sony a7 III. So I went from a $400 or $500 camera to a $2,500 camera. So massive discrepancies there, but it is the lenses that count, because you can use a kit lens or you can use like a nifty 50, which is probably the first lens that you should be looking at buying. Night and day difference in the quality and what you're creating. Number 2, the second thing that I wish I knew when I first started photography is just keep on shooting. You want to shoot everything. If the opportunity arises for you to shoot a wedding, go shoot a wedding. If someone wants portraits, shoot portraits. Car photography, do it all. A lot of people will go against this one because it doesn't help you, develop your style, or you're getting sucked into a specific niche, but it helps you discover yourself and figure out exactly what you want out of photography. For myself, when I first started doing it, I got into weddings, I got into portraits, into headshots, into nature, car photography, sports, etc. And I found out that I'm a wedding and portrait photographer. There's all these things that I enjoy, but when it comes to sports, when it comes to landscapes, car photography, product photography, that kind of stuff was not for me. So that's why you guys need to shoot absolutely everything so you can figure out what you like. The third thing I wish I knew when I first started photography is getting out of automatic as soon as freaking possible. You want to go into manual, learn all the settings, learn the exposure triangle, and just really understand what each of the 3 options do. Because then later on, you can use the specific modes like shutter priority, aperture priority to really like niche and speed up your workflow. But first you need a solid understanding of how manual mode works. Okay, so I think we are on to number 4. The 4th thing I wish I knew when I first started photography is that editing is difficult. It is tough, it is mind-boggling, it is time-consuming. But the more you practice, the more you learn, the better you will get at it. And this one really ties in with the 5th thing that I wish I knew, is using presets. A lot of people will hate on me for this, but if you're just really getting into photography, you will not understand how to get specific looks. So that's why when you have a preset, but the only downside to this is like you need to be very diligent in using presets because they create a very strong look and you need to tweak them. The reason you should be using presets is to understand the science behind it, the colors, the process, so then you can develop it on your own. I first started using presets a month or 2 after I got into photography, and it's helped me a lot in understanding what certain things do. But that's because I didn't just throw in all my photos in Lightroom and then just one-click preset and then post, because the moment you do that, it just won't work. Certain presets are made for certain things. Some of the changes that's gonna do to your photos you might not like, it might not be to your style. So that's why I encourage you guys to really learn editing, even if you have to use certain tools like workshops, tutorials, and even presets. It's incredible. Up next on the list is you need to be aware that gas is a thing. And if you're a new photographer and you don't understand what that is, it is called gear acquisition syndrome. And it sounds funny, but we all have it. We see something new, we see another photographer use a piece of equipment that we necessarily want, and we just go out and get it without understanding what it does, what the point of it is. So let me give you a prime example of myself. I got for Christmas some strobes that I was upset that they didn't necessarily have all the features that I wanted. I went out and I bought a better strobe, one that had the features that I wanted, that allowed me the flexibility that I needed. And then shortly after, I found out that I could use those other strobes, the cheaper ones, in a much different fashion and still get the results that I wanted. So that's when it comes to it, like, make sure if you're buying gear, make sure you're investing into something that you want. And then still focusing on gear, The only things that should be expensive and top quality are your camera, your lens, and a tripod. Because we need to keep our gear safe. When it comes to lights, you just need to learn the science behind it, and then you can use so many different ways to manipulate light, learn light with like flashes, with strobes, with the cheapest thing in the world. So that's something to really consider. Okay, so the next thing that you guys need to know is knowing your worth, knowing your limit of shooting for free. A lot of people will reach out to you the way I did my TFP, trade for print kind of thing, was if there's any specific concepts that I wanted to work on, as well as shooting with my friends, because they're the ones that were supporting me from the beginning. So for those friends, I always did shoot for free. But if I had a bunch of people randomly reach out to me and wanting to shoot for free, unless that was providing direct value to me, other than learning or something like that, I would 9 times out of 10 actually decline it. Because in the end, it's my time, my equipment, my gear, that costs a lot of money. So it is very important to make sure when to say no to free photography. So another thing that I want to share with you guys that I wish I knew when I first started photography is don't keep your prices very low. A lot of people think, hey, I'm a rookie, I'm a newbie, I'm new in the industry, so my prices are way lower. Or, you know, you just have someone who comes into the industry and they just completely nosedive on the prices. That ruins the rest of the photography community, because if I have a wedding package that's $5,000 and you come in with $1,500 offering the same amount of photos that I do to the client, it seems, you know, that you are the better deal. But that's something that you should really avoid, because one, you are lowering the value of your work. And if you're not ready to offer those higher prices yet, you should definitely reevaluate and reconsider the stage of photography that you are at. Also, when I bumped up my prices, I actually saw an increase and a big spike in paid clients. So that's something you guys can definitely take a look at as well if you're looking at turning this into a career. So there you guys have it. Those are some of my little nuggets about things I wish I knew when I started photography. If you enjoy this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. Comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It really means the world to me. And you know, we're close to getting over that 1,000 subscriber hump. So subscribe, a lot more stuff coming on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.